This is the best way I know of not only speeding up the results of your manifestations, but having them come in an even better way than you ever imagined. Hey, it's Andrew, otherwise known as that guy who wrote the last Law of Attraction book you'll ever need to read. And if you want to check out my book, you can very easily do so by going to andrewcap.com, where I've got all my projects, including an easy link to the Amazon listing for the book, where it's available on Kindle for only $4. Today, I want to talk about a really important topic, and it's one of the biggest tricks that people fall into when they're trying to manifest through the law of attraction. Worrying about the how and the when of getting what you want. The most challenging thing about this issue is that it's perfectly normal. It's human nature to worry about this kind of thing. It's human nature to worry about when something's going to happen, wanting to speed up the result, to want to rush things into your reality. It's perfectly natural to keep score and look at the days passing by and ask yourself, why hasn't this thing come yet? Where is my stuff? Is it going to happen the way that I'm hoping it's going to happen? What if this one thing that I'm worried about gets in the way? What if this other thing that needs to happen in order for me to get my manifestation doesn't happen? It's one of those endless cycles. It's one of those downward spirals where once you get caught in the web of it, it's very difficult to get out. But the truth is, just like many of the blocks that people have when it comes to law of attraction, these issues are built on nothing more than an illusion. By thinking your manifestation has to come on your timetable, you ironically, inadvertently, unintentionally end up slowing it down for yourself instead. By envisioning one specific way in which it has to happen for you, you limit the universe from all these other options that it has at its disposal to give you the thing that you want in an even more enjoyable and more beneficial way. But this kind of manifesting block that you've probably been dealing with for a really long time no longer needs to plague you. And the answer really comes down to just a slight shift in your perspective and your paradigm. Allow me to illustrate with this example. Imagine someone going for a brand new job, and it's high paying. It's $150,000 a year. It's with a really well-known company. This job applicant in particular is desperate for this position because they need the money. And for all intents and purposes, it looks like a perfect job situation. But imagine a scenario where this job applicant has the perfect interview. It goes wonderfully, and they leave the building thinking the job is all but theirs, not realizing that the applicant that went right behind them and was next in the interview badmouthed them to a point where the company no longer had faith in this applicant and ended up not giving them the job. Imagine that horrible situation. Imagine you're going after this huge job, $150,000 a year, and then the applicant behind you badmouths you and costs you this job. They cost you this position. They cost you this opportunity. How horrible would that feel? How upset would you be about that? And as you think of how unfair of a situation this must be, and how unfair it would be if it were you, ask yourself this really important question. If you knew that a month from now, you'd actually be getting a job that's twice as much money, $300,000 a year, not only was the money better, but everything was better. It was a better commute. It was a better office. It was better colleagues. It was more vacation time. It was more opportunity for promotions and even more money. It was better parking. Literally everything about this new job that comes only a month later, only 30 days later, is better, including the money. If you knew that that was going to happen in the moment that you lost the opportunity at the other job, would you be upset? Or would you even be happy and grateful that it happened? And by that same token, if this first job you heard about through a friend, but the second higher paying job you learned about on LinkedIn or some other website, would that make a difference? Would it matter how you learned about the job? I think we can both agree that that would not matter. It wouldn't matter how you learned about the job. It wouldn't matter whether it took one interview to get it or three interviews to get it. It wouldn't matter if the interview process was 3 days or 5 days. All that matters is that this perceived situation, this perceived bad event where you thought that you missed out, was really just the universe's way of giving you a way better situation, delaying you just long enough until that new better job was actually available for you. These kinds of things happen all the time. Things that are perceived as bad, unjust events for us, they happen. And we automatically assume that we're actually suffering from this type of thing, not realizing that it might be opening up an even better opportunity for us. But when we grip to the how and the when of the way something is supposed to happen, when we hold on too tight for it, when we get upset if it doesn't happen in the time or in the manner in which we want or expect, We get upset to the point where we block off our energy. We block off the manifestations. We block off all the momentum that we were making toward that new and better result. Ironically enough, the trick to speeding up your manifestation is not worrying about how fast it comes. The trick in letting the manifestation happen even better than you could have imagined is in not requiring for it to happen in any specific way. And this is what manifesting on easy mode is all about. It means you don't worry about anything, including the speed of your manifestation, including the manner in which it arrives, including any of that. When you're up for a job for $150,000 a year and it doesn't happen, you're not worried or bothered because you know, hey, that must mean that there is another better job, maybe for the same money, maybe for more money, maybe for other perks, who knows? But the critical thing to all of this is to keep yourself in that energetic space where you're not worried, to keep yourself in that energetic space where it really is all about ease and all about flow and all about letting the universe work its magic, knowing what you already want, and you doing your part by feeling good while thinking about what you have or what you want or both, and only taking action when inspired to do so. Only taking action out of a sense and feeling of abundance rather than a sense or feeling of lack. Bottom line, never worry about the when and never worry about the how. Never worry about the manner in which your manifestation is going to arrive. Never stress yourself over the fact that it doesn't seem to be happening soon enough. All that might be happening in this perceived delay is the universe lining all these other critical things up to finally give you what you want in a better way than you ever could have imagined. And for anyone looking at that example of the $150,000 job that goes away, and then 30 days later, we have another job here, and you might be saying, hey, that wasn't faster. Well, one, it isn't always going to be faster, but it is going to be smoother. And number two, it was faster to $300,000. It was a lot faster to that path. So when you think about it, that wasn't even an actual delay. But staying on point here, again, you're not worried about the how or the when. You're not worried about how long it takes, even if it seems like it's taking longer. You're not worried about how it comes. All you're worried about is not worrying. All you're focused on is whatever is within your control, knowing that everything else is being handled for you. Because when you can rest in the ease of knowing that everything else is being taken care of for you, that's when everything can be taken care of for you. Because that's when you are energetically open to it and allowing that kind of benefit in for yourself. So bottom line, you want to manifest on easy mode. You want to get what you want. You want it faster. You want it better. Don't worry about how fast it comes. Don't worry about the way that it comes. It probably seems too easy, but it really is that simple. So I'm really hoping that you take this message to heart because I know if you do, it's going to benefit you in ways that you could not imagine. And I'll look forward to seeing you in the very next video.